but you can really see the monthly volume, the active traders, right? They really started to grow here in 2024. And really recently, both in July and August, we've seen massive increases on this front. Part of the reason could be because there has been some murmurs that they could be releasing a coin, that there could be an airdrop coming soon. So that could be driving a little bit of volume as well.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of WagmiTV. We have a really special one for you today, really fun. Polymarket, which is a very interesting platform that essentially uses crypto as an infrastructure to allow folks to place bets on different events, different things happening. We'll walk through what that means here in a moment. But we're going to dive through some of the back end and some of the numbers we're seeing in terms of the growth of the platform, and also just an overview of how it all works and how you can actually get involved yourself. So with that, I'll hand it over to Zoe to do a little bit of a background on what Polymarket is and get us started.
Let's hop right into it here. I'm going to share my screen, take you guys through kind of what Polymarket looks like, and then we'll go and look at some of the analytics and check out how much these guys have really grown over the last couple of months. But super impressive stuff over here. So basically what Polymarket is, it's a prediction market. So if anybody is, used the website Predict It, that was kind of one of the OG prediction markets. It basically enables you to create a market for whatever outcome you want and have people wager mostly peer-to-peer on that outcome. And so you can see here, if you go to all on the Polymarket front end, there's loads of different things that you can wager on. Everything from, interest rate cuts to obviously the presidential election to, you got some sports outcomes and stuff over here that you can go to, Super Bowl, World Series, all of this stuff that people have basically created these markets for. And now you can go and you can wager on it. So let's say you wanted to place a wager on one of these outcomes, right? Let's go to the presidential election. The most volume on this whole website has come from this very one market. And you can see it's almost, all close to nearing $1 billion in total volume for this market. So what you would do here is, like, let's say you thought that, a 52% chance of Donald Trump winning was underpriced. Let's say you thought that was actually closer to 70 or 80% chance, right? You could come over here and you could just bet yes. And what that would do is that you would basically enter into a position. And if Donald Trump ended up winning at the end, in November, that odd would go from 52 to 100. And so you would basically double your money in this particular market. Similarly, if you wanted to bet on Harris, you could come over here and bet on her for currently 47 cents on the dollar. Similarly, if she were to win in November, those odds would go to 100% when the outcome was actually done and resolved. And that's when you would get, your payout. Now, what makes this different from previous prediction markets is, of course, the use of crypto. And so this is one of the things that on this channel we're super excited about. One of the first true kind of product market fits outside of like decentralized exchanges and lending and the other DeFi stuff we cover on this channel. So super exciting to see. And so what happens here is you can actually come over here and you can place limit orders and AMM orders. Now, this is, taking a page out of all the DeFi stuff that we always talk about on this channel, which is really giving people the ability to provide liquidity to a given market and earn rewards. And so that's what you can do here. You can come in and, you can place basically limit orders within a given market and you earn rewards for that. And by doing that, you're basically making the market super efficient so that other traders can come in and actually use the platform, trade, and execute where they want to. Now, just a quick rundown of the rewards page right here. If you guys are curious, this is where you can come and see kind of the daily rewards that you would be receiving for providing liquidity on each of these markets. Don't need to go super in depth on it. If you guys want to learn more about it, definitely comment down below. But that's basically a brief overview of Polymarket. Super exciting stuff. And it's really clear why these guys have really taken off. And that's what we're going to dive into now with kind of the analytics side of things.
Yeah, and it's just really interesting from just the market sentiment perspective, right? The platform is really cool because I think it serves really as like a barometer of public opinion, really offers a lot of insights for investors, and in this case, right, bettors, right? So you can see how people have been kind of really catching on to this. I'll share a quick little Dune dashboard here as well. And I think it's no secret, right? DeFi is becoming more and more popular. I know, Soham, you sent a Twitter post a little bit earlier today, even to our little group chat of folks talking about DeFi within the government, right? So DeFi is gaining some traction. And to your point, Polymarket really aligns with the DeFi movement and as well as betting, right? Betting has become extremely popular, especially in the United States over the course of the last couple of years. But really, we've seen a lot of this growth through being able to bet on the 2024 presidential election, like we've just talked through. But you can really see the monthly volume, the active traders, right? They really started to grow here in 2024. And really recently, both in July and August, we've seen massive increases on this front. Part of the reason could be because there has been some murmurs that they could be releasing a coin, that there could be an airdrop coming soon. So that could be driving a little bit of volume as well. And you can even see that even in active daily active traders here still continuing to grow, just going up and to the right over the last couple of weeks and couple of days. But I thought this was really interesting just to see their explosive growth really within this year and to see how it just continues to go up. Obviously, September, we've just started. We're already, almost up to 200 million, which is crazy. It's crazy to think about that. But I know Evan maybe had a couple of pieces to talk through on this. Anything to add to that?
Yeah, nothing too crazy. You want to actually let me share really quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Awesome. I just want to share the DeFi Llama, essentially the dashboard for the prediction markets within crypto. Let me zoom on out here, but this isn't really a large market movement that's happening. If you were to come down here and look at, the TVLs between different apps, Polymarket is, 10x, 12x, 15x higher than the other, closest markets. And so this really isn't like a general movement in the market. This is Polymarket creating a far superior app to any of the competitors and really probably finding a use case and aligning a great user experience with the use case like we really haven't seen before in crypto and in DeFi. And so, yeah, I think like we talked about, Polymarket's really taking the role in betting as Vegas or, most like DraftKings order books would have. They're really they're substituting out Vegas and adding their users in as when you create those limit orders, those AMM orders, that's you taking Vegas's spot in that market. And so it creates a more efficient market in that way. You're able to not see the 10%, 5% fee that Vegas takes on every bet taken away. These are far more efficient markets. So I think that's really cool, and it's just another use case for DeFi in a market that honestly I don't think we've really seen yet. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff, really.
Yeah, I think it's really, really interesting. And I think we watched Soham show how easy it is to use right in the beginning. I think to Evan's point, like it's clear on the TVL, they've just built a superior product. It's not like it's evenly distributed or even more evenly distributed than kind of that lopsided TVL we saw. I think the biggest question that comes to mind for me, especially looking at some of the charts that we've seen, is how much of the trading volume and the active users is driven by the election. Because if you look at the total bets, it's like 95%, maybe more than 95% of the total bets placed on Polymarket are for the winner of the presidential election. And a lot of the correlation of, the boost in open interest and active traders kind of corresponds with the election year, like last 6 months ish. So I'd be curious to see after the election if it just completely falls off or if it kind of retains the interests of people. And maybe this is a great way to onboard new people to create the interest in it and they continue to roll. Regardless, I think we see somewhat of a dip, but it'd be interesting to see how much of a dip we see after the election on that.
Yeah, I love that. I feel like, whether it's election right now, you could easily see it for the Oscars, for the Grammys, for other big events that you see coming in the future that maybe like a DraftKings or FanDuel wouldn't cover. But that's a great call out.
Totally agree. Anything else, gentlemen?
No, I guess just checking out this Dune dashboard again. To your point, right? Yeah, they actually broke it down election and non-election. Yeah, you can see the election in purple. Just the volume in general from the election is massive in comparison to everything else. Whereas like back when you didn't have as many users or as many folks logging in, right? It was right around 50-50. So to your point, it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. And another reason why maybe it'd be helpful to do something like an airdrop or release a token to get folks involved, sometime after the election. But great points.
Yeah, love it all around. Love it all around. I know there's been, we didn't get to talk too much about it, but I know there's been rumors of an airdrop or a token drop for Polymarket. So we'll keep tabs on that. If anything, it becomes more clear, we'll make sure to put out some content around it. But obviously, this was not financial advice. Like, bet at your own risk. There's no guarantee in any of those bets that we walk through. But again, just a fun way to see how crypto infrastructure has a real world applicability and a real world use case where we have over $1 billion being put through this platform. We look at the actual betting volume. So thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know if you're going to check it out or if you've been on Polymarket before. We'd love to hear it. And let us know who you're taking on some of those bets. But until next week, Wagme.